It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, 'cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there is a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. And some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but soon they will realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend of Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wants to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wants to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra.
Good morning, K-Man. Happy Tuesday. The chill is still here. Brr. OMG. Yes, we're feeling it. Bundle up, folks. What else can you do? On the one hand, it is beautiful. On the other hand, I see people doing crazy things like trying to get baptized at Smith Barcadier on Sunday with the waves knocking them over. Why? I mean, you could get baptized with a little drizzle of water. I mean, if it was that urgent, you think something's going to happen where you need to quick time do it, not a problem. But please be safe out there, folks. Do not take chances with your life. Likewise, there are people sending me footage of tourists enjoying the beach a little bit too much. And, that water can be dangerous. So let's enjoy the weather, but be cautious because there are currents and waves that will smash into you and possibly take you out to sea. So we certainly do not want that to happen. So just be careful out there, folks. And of course, because of this weather, and in particular the ocean waves, what we have happening is that none of our ships can come in at the moment. So I know the grocery stores are normally pretty well packed for at least a good month before they start to feel anything. But there's another wave of cold fronts following this one. So we're going to keep an eye on that situation. But I know right now, even the car dealers and stuff are telling me, oh man, Sandy, we're low on stock and we had vehicles coming that, they're not coming anytime soon. So we are asking for everyone's patience because inventory is being held in Jamaica at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty wild. But anyway, we are incredibly grateful to be able to put on a little fleece hoodie or a jacket. Some of you are even going with some jacket and boots right now and enjoying Cayman's weather. Winter. So guess what? It is Tuesday, the first Tuesday of February. Today is February the 3rd. And we are very, very pleased to welcome back into the studio our good friends over at Health City at Cayman Islands. We are going to just update the links here in just a second so that you guys can do those links as well, and you'll get everything on social media. So let's welcome Shamari back in the house. Good
Hello,
morning.
Sandy. I haven't seen you in person, but I guess this is as close as we have gotten in person since the new year. So happy new year to you as well.
Thank you very much. Same to you. So good to see you here. So how was the Christmas and the New Year?
Oh, Christmas was great. New Year was great. You know, I had to take some time off. Wife didn't have any more vacation, and helper was back home for her Christmas holidays. So it was me and the three boys for
holding down the fort.
An extended period. Yeah, definitely held down the fort. Nobody died and the house didn't burn down. So it's all good, all good.
I love when men are in charge of things, because they're just like, listen, did she die? Did the baby die? No, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about how the house looks. Don't worry about what's broken. But we had fun.
Yeah.
And plus Matthias is 15 now, so he thinks he's an adult. So he was, partaking in the parenting. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Aww. First of all, when did that happen even? Oh my gosh.
So somebody I worked with many years ago at Department of Tourism obviously has seen me. And then on Sunday, she saw Matthias, and Matthias is taller than me now, right? And she's like,
wow,
there is no way that is little Matthias. And I'm like, yep.
Oh my goodness.
She just whispered, we're getting old. I'm like, yeah, we're getting more seasoned, more mature.
Yes, yeah. Even the more reason to keep up with the walking and the proper dietary constraints and so on and so forth. But good stuff. Any New Year's resolutions that you might want to share with us?
So typically, I always have one or two New Year's resolutions. Last go round, I said I had always promised my uncle I was going to grow my hair, and I did that. You can see, right?
Okay. Yeah.
As well as I was going to get on that health journey, and I wanted to lose 48 pounds, and I actually lost 55 pounds as of now. Still have some more to go and throwing in weights there, so that's a continuation. However, this year's New Year's resolution was to actually have more private time with the grandparents, at least once a month or once every 2 months at the most. So last Saturday, went to Peppers with the grands, as we call them.
Nice.
So, Nichelle's mother and both of my parents. So we were at Peppers with the grandkids and had a good time, and planning the next one for next month, where Levi has turned into that's the middle one, a little bit of a chef. So he actually wants to cook for the grands. So he's going to be throwing down some sweet and sour chicken. So he knows how to cook. He's 12. He knows how to cook sweet and sour chicken. So
nice.
He has a little recipe, a little healthy recipe that he has learned. So we're going to be partaking in that, as well as I've gotten away since hard copy books have become less and less available. I've gotten away from reading of books, so I've put it on my agenda that I'm going to read at least one book a month. So I've already started with a book called Abundance.
Okay. And does it have to be a hard copy book? Is that what you're saying?
So for me, I don't do well with when I'm reading outside of work to read online. I actually need the hard copy. To still highlight and make notes and underline, and that's me, right?
Okay, all right.
So I've made it my purpose to visit a bookstore and actually purchased 3 new books, and so at least the first 3 months I have covered, and I've already started. So I should be finished with my first book hopefully in a week or 2.
Wow.
And then I'll continue. I'll continue along that journey. So,
all right, I've got a question for you. I don't know if you've seen Books and Bush Tea with Aniki Brown. That's one of her new CMR shows.
Definitely.
and she is looking for men who read romance novels. Know of any?
That I do not know. So and I am not one of them. So
Yeah.
I read for knowledge, right? So I read
Yeah, me
history,
too.
I read, books on
Self-help book.
leadership,
Yeah.
self-help books. I'll read books about biographies of individuals that I found to be either impactful or very interesting in history.
Yep.
So typically when I read for knowledge.
Mhm.
For my enjoyment, I will, watch sports or go see sports or
Mhm.
partake in basketball, and or I'm a little bit of a movie buff. So that's what I do. So
Yeah.
romance novels, I am
I've been
not sure.
trying to help her out, but I
I,
can't
I
find
will
any
I
men.
will ask, but I can't say. I can't even imagine
Yeah.
sitting with the group of guys and somebody bring up, "Hey, by the way, I'm reading this romance novel, and it's so amazing." So,
Ah.
but I will, I will reach out
Yeah.
to some
I've been
avid
I've been trying to
readers.
help her because she's
They,
looking
they,
for
they,
guys for her show, but
I
he's
mean, no
definitely
one
gonna
or
be a
two.
unicorn.
They may
Hard
be
to
they may
find.
be doing that on the low, and I'm not aware. But I know some avid readers. I'll ask if that's a part of their repertoire.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're reading more books because I tell you what, with the disappearance of bookstores overseas, I think Cayman is so fortunate because we still have,
Yeah.
a couple bookstores left, and they're always packed when I go in there on a weekend, and it's great to see people, um, you know, indulging and picking up a book and having a good read. But it seems like they're really disappearing. But you know what I found the other day is
Barnes
there's
and
a
Noble
little.
is still there though, near to universities. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
interesting thing is that I think they kind of, I don't know if Starbucks took their model or which one, or they shared it.
Mhm.
They have that coffee component in the Starbucks, and they have so I went into one recently once again to look for books, and
Mhm.
university students like sitting on the ground, they're at the tables, they're studying, they're drinking their coffee, they're reading. So I'm like, oh, so maybe this
Hmm.
is a little bit of the pivot where they're
Mhm.
becoming more of the place for students to go and study, even if they're not reading, and maybe they'll purchase a book or two. But it seemed to be a little bit of a student hangout, for those that want to be
Okay.
studious but around other people and maybe not necessarily in the library. So I found that interesting. I was like,
Hmm.
when I found them, and I found two, but they were really close to universities. And then when I went, I
Uh-huh.
was like, aha, okay, this is why
Oh,
it's
that's
still,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see them, but maybe I'm not close enough to university. I'm not really sure. But one of the things I've found though, is sometimes you can find these little micro bookstores like in the
Mm,
airports and stuff. And
right. Yes.
I love a good magazine. Like I'm a
Okay.
magazine reader. I
Yeah.
like books, but I really love picking up a good magazine.
Mhm.
So of course the airport bookstores and magazine shops always have an amazing selection from
That's
tech
right.
to,
Mhm.
health and wellness and everything. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I also like, well, if I need to purchase a lottery ticket for my wife, because I don't purchase, but I do for her, right? Um, then
So wait
I
a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Can I just digest that for a quick
yes.
second? So if she wins or when she wins,
Mhm.
will you be partaking in the winnings?
That no, I don't think so. She can keep the money. She manages the household anyway. So, you
Okay.
know, I'm sure there would be upgrades that I would partake in, but
That
no,
you'll benefit from, yeah.
yeah, it's specifically for her. Like I if it was up to me, I would not be purchasing lottery tickets. So, yeah,
Okay. All right.
she is an avid lottery ticket purchaser. So I go and I purchase for her. But the point I was making is, they seem in Miami Airport. That's where I would purchase. Right? They seem to
Uh-huh.
be in the places with books. Right? Half of the
Mhm.
time. So I'll just pop in, and now I'm like, all right, let me have a look at the hard copies so that I can get back on my reading of books. And
Mm.
yeah, so
Okay.
amazing. Yeah.
All right. Well, you're back, and we want to welcome you and the HCCI crew, Health City, Cayman Islands. And of course, we've got Dr. Sandeep, who is in the studio with us today. One of my favorites, except when I see him in person, because then I get a little scared.
And just to remind people who Dr. Sandeep is, it's the new year. As I said, my mama would be upset if I didn't introduce him properly.
Yes.
But Dr. Sandeep has had 2 decades of specialist experience. He is one of our lead internal medicine specialists. He's been a part of, how Health City does, and even before that, multidisciplinary teams to manage complex medical cases. His clinical interests are endocrinology, diabetes, dialysis, autoimmune disorders, and infectious diseases. And he has many areas of expertise, but in regards to what we're talking about today, health and wellness, from an adult perspective, he is also an expert when it comes to obesity and weight management. So without further ado, Dr. Sandeep, or Dr. Bollywood, as I call him.
Good morning, Dr. Sandeep.
Bye, Sandra. Always good to be here with you in CMR. So sorry, I was delayed a little bit today.
Yes.
And hi, Shamari.
Hey, what's going on, Dr. See, Dr. Sandeep, you didn't have to say that. We took the time catching up.
Yes.
Until we brought you in.
We saw you. We saw you when you came in, but we weren't going to say a word.
No, not like that. Actually, Shamari is usually available only in CMR nowadays. Been busy, only place I see his face is in CMR nowadays.
Oh my goodness.
Difficult to catch him.
Yes.
You see, and Dr. Sandeep took time to get that hair coiffed.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Dr. Sandeep, thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, sometimes I get a little bit scared when I see you because I know it's going to be accountability time, and we're going to talk about things like the A1C number and other things. But I'm so glad to have you on the show this morning. And it looks like some of our listeners are also very glad. User Irvlin says, best doctor ever. Strong Will says, my favorite doctor, sexy Dr. Sandeep. Good morning. I love you.
Oh my God. Okay.
I know. Even Jim says, Dr. Sandeep, thankful he's my GP. So
thank you all.
Everyone seems to be here, happy to see you. So this is fantastic. But Dr. Sandeep, we're going to be talking about health and wellness today. I think it's a great topic to kick off the new year. Someone on the DM just said, I think 1/4 of Cayman's population are patients of Dr. Sandeep. He's a gem. Aw.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
Yes. And I have to believe that it's not just because of your illustrious hair, that it's actually your medical skills why people really rate you.
Yeah.
That suit is on point, Dr. Sandeep.
I know.
I didn't figure out where you got that from. That is nice.
Oh, everybody thinks that you're so amazing. But let's talk about health and wellness, because again, the beginning of the year, I feel like we have this opportunity to kind of, Shamari was sharing some New Year's resolutions. We all think, okay, this is a time for me to reset and to, make some modifications and some changes as it relates to the diet and exercise. And we always have these really, really grand plans. And something happens after a couple months where I think we kind of, fall off the rails a bit. But it's important for us to make health and wellness a priority. So this isn't a nice to have. This isn't optional. This is something that is going to increase our longevity on this earth, but also make it a better quality life. So February is Wellness Month. So this is also a perfect opportunity to talk about this. But we see Shamari talking about the fact that last year he set a goal for himself, and he not only he exceeded that goal, losing over 50 pounds by making some simple modifications. So let's talk a bit about Wellness Month and why it is so important. And we know, Shamari, that Health City is actually partnering with the DART organization to sort of reinforce those commitments to being healthier as individuals, as families, and as the larger community.
Yeah. So as you know, February has been given as a wellness month. So every month there is something related to the health. So this
Mm-hmm.
is prioritized for the cardiovascular disease, if I'm not wrong. So it's a heart wellness health month. So it's about all about screening for heart diseases
Mm.
and screening for blood pressures and getting to know your numbers and promote the lifestyle measures, weight loss measures. And if I'm not wrong, tomorrow is a World Cancer Day, February 4th. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's about a global initiative to fight against cancer by promoting cancer screening um, tests and further, there was I think HIV awareness day on February 7th. These are the important days for this February. um, yeah, I mean, when it comes to health, it's all about prevention. So we always talk about changing the lifestyle and making the best measures to get away from medical problems, which is more common when you grow older, 35, 40 years. No age is a cutoff to start off to go and sit with your doctor and discuss about your risk factors, family history, and personal risk factors. All of these, and it's different for everybody. Not all behaves in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so screening and preventative measures should take the a priority for anybody when it comes to health.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we're going to get into some of the details of what people can actually do to really help to improve their outcomes. And one of the things I love with Health City is it's not just about, oh, just go to the doctor once you've gotten to that stage where you're ill and you're not feeling well. It's about, right, why is it that, where can you make some modifications and some changes? So, just a clarification here, your team is in the background. They're always messaging to make sure we get everything right. So, they say Wellness Month is not international. It was created by Health City and DART. So, this is something that you guys have done as sort of a collaboration for the month of February at the local level to try to highlight this for the community. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for that. And there is a lot that we can do, but I think we have to start off by understanding what exactly wellness is. And so we see the concept of it being holistic. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's all about a state of being in good health, right from the age you are at right now. Though they say it's a holistic approach, you still need to. You cannot just rely on the lifestyle measures and think that I'm doing the best. I'm exercising. I'm eating well. Though the healthiest person can have major health problems, so there's a lot to do with the genetics involved in it, hereditary factors, and all of that. So it's very, very important to get in touch with a healthcare facility and speak to um, uh, uh, the wellness preventive doctor, wellness doctor, to
Mm-hmm.
get to know about the risk factors and risk assessment. That's the most important thing. Once you know that you have these risks, so nothing is like confirmed that you're going to have problems in the next 1 year or 2 years. So it's all about preventative measures, and get to know about your risk factors and the percentage of risk which you can have, especially with a cardiovascular disease and a stroke. These are the two important things to prevent.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of things are, we go by guidelines. We usually follow American Association Society guidelines for cancer preventions at certain ages, which is at par with the universally. It's all the same age, around the same ages.
Mm-hmm.
For example, as this is all no, but some people think that oh, if we do only the lifestyle measures and I'm eating well and I'm doing my best, so why do I need to go to a doctor? That is wrong, because the most healthiest of the healthiest person can also have a major health problem which is hidden unless you recognize it by doing screening and screening tests and wellness investigations.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. All right, so we're going to talk about that. And, when we talk about the screening, again, I think it's important to also talk about the mental health aspect,
Yeah.
because the physical is important. But if you're not taking care of yourself emotionally, and mental health isn't a priority, and even your social health, then we know from all the research that all of those things will have an impact on your physical health and well-being as well. So everything works in tandem with each other. It's a 360 approach when it comes to understanding wellness. So I'm glad that you talk about, we see this quite often as well, where if we get ahead of these things, now they're indicators that show us very, very clearly that 20 years before you become a diabetic, there are definite signs. There are numbers that are creeping up that will give you an indication. Before the silent killer, the blood pressure numbers start to creep up. We're slowly putting on weight. We're becoming more sedentary. All of these factors, or diet is shifting a little bit, and so these things matter. And as Shamari has demonstrated, and other people, sometimes the modifications, they don't have to be big with, like, flashlights all over the place. It's the little small things that done consistently can actually make a difference. I'm saying it, and I'm still working on that in my personal life. But I'm motivated. When I see someone like Shamari, I am really motivated to stop finding excuses not to get on the treadmill or the walking pad every single day. I'm like,
And I
Shamari
think
can do it.
I think I need shares in whoever has ellipticals on island. I've met two people who said, I heard about your elliptical, and I went and I purchased one, and I've started 3 days a week at 20 minutes, and I'm going to increase it. I'm like, really? Where did you purchase your elliptical? I need to go talk to them.
Yes.
No, but as you said, Sandy, but from a holistic perspective, even if you're eating well, even if you're exercising, but to your point, if your mental health isn't in the right place,
Yeah.
if your social health isn't in the right place, you've
Mm,
seen people who look like, the banner, right,
mhm,
for health, that at times, unfortunately, fall into depression and other areas. And it's many different things. So it's the whole human being that we need
mhm,
to look at. And I think the great thing about us having this wellness week in February is everybody's on it in January, right?
mhm,
And maybe if you've fallen off a little bit, this February will help you to continue. And what is it? How many days for it to become a habit? Is it 60 days
mhm.
that you have to do something in a row for it to become a habit? So
Yeah.
hopefully, with what we'll hear about shortly, with partnership with Dart as well, we
Mhm.
can get people to get re-energized after they may have fallen off a little bit starting in February, to get to that 60 days of making it a habit, so that 2026 can be the year that we achieve all we need to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. So we see that wellness has shifted from lifestyle advice to early risk identification. I kind of touched on that a little bit, but Dr. Sandeep, can you tell us a bit more about what early risk identification even means?
Uh, the demographic factors, the age, your body mass index, a pre-existing health conditions, your lifestyle, family risk, physical inactivity. These are the major risk factors which
Mhm,
would progress if without if not taken care of in an early stage. So we were just speaking about the diabetes, and we never get away from this problem. Pre-diabetes is a serious metabolic condition. I'm just giving an example where you can be in this state from as early as 25, 27 years. I have people who have been diagnosed with pre-diabetes, and they progress very quickly with a lot of unexplained mechanisms. But most of them are, like, linked strongly to the familial or hereditary genes. It can be prevented when you educate them that, look, this is what it is, and insulin resistance is what you have to work on. The weight, getting rid of that extra 7 to 10% of the weight, which is
mhm,
contributing it. Look for other additional risk factors associated by screening for blood pressures, cholesterols, fatty liver, and push on more to exercise if you're doing at least 130 to 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercises where you have to sweat and feel it,
Mm-hmm.
at least 20 30 minutes in a day, 5 days in a week is what they say. And adapt the dietary changes. These are all the long term preventative measures, so people who do it only for a few days and leave it will not make major effects. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
be healthy, it needs everything together, including your lifestyle adaptations to to mitigate the risk factors. You have to be knowing your numbers also. There are preventative measures for everything right now, within this evidence-based medicine which is available.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All
Of
right,
course, the
very good.
medical interventions are the last things that don't. Many people think that we go to doctor, they put you on medicines. It's not true. So the interventions are the last thing that we give an option,
Right.
unless it is really necessary for that.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So there are screening options that are available, and this is
Yeah,
why every time Shamari says, make sure you take advantage of, and we gave out some for Christmas, so hopefully people have taken advantage of those. All of the different the executive health checks that Health City puts on. That's one way to get a good baseline number. How soon should people start screening for things like heart disease and diabetes risk?
35 years, 35 to 40 is the time where you don't have to choose those expensive panels of uh, wellness executives in any clinical setting. If you're not affording for that, all you need is just to meet your doctor once to risk assess and get to know your personal risk factors. Based on that, you would be advised to do a very baseline number of investigations to start with.
Mm-hmm.
But we also should know that we all have insurance on the island, and insurance is also pushing it for everybody, considering to use that wellness benefits, which is there in everybody's insurance, I believe, for the year. So they should make use of it and use that without getting wasted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. And of course, if you have a family history, that's why you also need to speak to your primary care
Absolutely.
physician, because that might change depending on your actual family history.
Absolutely, absolutely. The family history, I mean, everything is, I would say, most of the medical non-communicable diseases are linked hereditary with complex genetic setup there. So the important ones are obesity, um, diabetes, hypertension, cholesterols, heart disease, and stroke, and certain type of cancers. Depending on the on those age where they're presenting with different pre-existing risk factors, so you can link it to the family history and then ask them to screen it early. For example, I talk about the colon cancer prevention. It's not so many people think that why do I do a colonoscopy at 45 years or 50 years?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm doing healthy. I'm passing stools well. I don't pass blood. I don't have any symptoms. So unless you catch it at the time where these are in a precancerous stage where the treatment differs. The age of 45, they say, but if you have a strong family history of colon cancer at certain age with the immediate family. When you talk about family history, it's all about the immediate family members, most of them, parents, siblings, are the ones which will definitely give you the strong risk. So the colon cancer screening is done 5 to 7 years earlier than
Mm-hmm.
what is recommended to prevent uh, cancer from developing. The breast cancers also, the mammogram screening is done very earlier if you have a family history. This is about the cancers. Otherwise, diabetes, I've seen 23 years, 24 years old people, even if they're not obese, I've seen if there's a strong family history. The family history is a very strong prediction for non-communicable diseases.
Mm-hmm. All right, very good. Jim, thank you so much for mentioning about the phone lines. I'm just updating and restarting the phone as we speak. So hopefully we will see a notable improvement there. And I think the internet's kind of struggling today because things look a little bit fuzzy when I'm looking at this online, but we'll keep monitoring it and keeping an eye. But of course, the information is so, you know, important that we want to make sure that you hear it first and foremost. And then we've got the slides here that are helpful for you to see as well. Um, let's talk about some of these silent conditions being detected. You know, I talked about high blood pressure is often known as a silent killer because a lot of times people will have high blood pressure and no visible symptoms at all that's what's going on. So, what other silent conditions are actually being detected earlier in younger people that you know are important to make sure that you know your numbers for?
Yeah, so the silent conditions where you don't have any symptoms overtly, but your numbers are telling that you look, get this down, otherwise you would have trouble. So one is, of course, the pre-diabetes, where your A1C will is a test which will tell you the last three months are over that period where how your average glucose levels have been.
Mm-hmm.
The cholesterols are the one, another one. The lipid profile and cholesterols are the other one. The thyroid functions is can be somebody can be in a subclinical state where the thyroid is struggling to produce hormones, which is essential for any human, for both men and women, in more than 15 functions in the body.
Mm-hmm.
The silent heart disease, not so common, but it is common when you have the risk factors which numb the nerve mechanism which you give which it gives a heart attack pain. So again, people who have diabetes will not have a classical chest pain, so
Mm-hmm.
they would have something called as angina equivalent symptoms, where it is not like chest pain, but you would have tiredness, letharginess, fatigue of new onset. You sweat a lot without any reason. Your performance will come down. Basically, it is not a classical central chest pain. So this can
Mm-hmm.
also be the silent for many months. If it is not picked up, it would be dangerous. Aneurysms, you think about aneurysms, which is detected, both it could be the cerebral aneurysms, aortic aneurysms in the chest, around the heart, abdominal aortic aneurysms. These are the ones which can be silently there just by clinical examination. We in X-rays will show dilatation of the heart, the aortic blood vessel above certain diameter, and when you examine abdomen has pulsations seen, which is not so common. These are all subtle signs which can pick up silent problems. And of course, there are some the cancer screening uh, m- uh, modules also, like you do your blood test for cancer screen, not so prominently advised for screening. So people do tumor markers, the cancer markers. The most important question they ask when you come into the hospital, look, doc, why do you have to do those invasive tests? Why don't you have a one blood test where you pick up and tell whether I have a cancer or not? So it is not proven that you would have one test which can tell you whether you have cancer or not. The tumor markers is what is called.
Mm-hmm.
It should be used very cautiously. People do tumor markers on a regular basis, which sometimes panics because there's a lot of false positive tests which comes for these tumor markers. The
Mm-hmm.
very well approved ones are for the prostate cancers and the colon cancers, which we usually adapt to do as an additional test where people don't agree to do the invasive screening tests like colonoscopy and rectal examinations. So those are again the cancers can be silently hidden, which is sometimes picked up with these tumor markers. But
Mm-hmm.
I advise to go ahead with the approved screening modules rather than doing rail tests. And some people do also ask, oh, do can I do one test which tells me my DNA and what all is I'm prone for in the next 10 years? And this is not true. This is not evidence base to rely on. These are all comes in a functional medicine where it is not proven enough with phase trials to tell that yeah you can adapt these screening modules. So these are all the silent problems where we can have, and it can be
Mm-hmm.
so you go to your doctor or healthcare facility and discuss about it to be and the best and the most important thing is you have to monitor it. If you have a number, you have to monitor it. John, just one visit is not enough. My doctor will tell you like how often you have to do it. How, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you have a PSA for a man, for men, if a PSA is around 6, or less than 4 being normal, so there is something called as doubling time of the PSA. The prostate specific antigen number in the blood just doubles from 6 to 12 in the next 6 months. It is a major thing where you might be having a prostate cancer. Somebody might be having prostate cancer. So so these are the silent pickups with both the screening modules and going through the history and family history and everything. You can
Mm-hmm.
upload
Mm-hmm.
it.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Now let's look at some of the things that people can do. I think we've heard some of these before. Hopefully, this isn't entirely new to our listeners, but you never know. So, what are some of the things that we can do every single day? And I think that consistency, and that's where we kind of all fall down a bit, is being consistent with it. So, number one, stay physically active most days. So, we know that we've heard this whole 10,000 steps a day. The research is actually showing that it doesn't even have to be that much, even 7,500. Your numbers will change with just 7,500 steps, which sounds like a lot. But when you do it, and you have devices that kind of track your steps, it's not really that much, but it does require you to get up from your chair. A lot of us have desk jobs and stuff now. So getting to those 7,500 steps can be challenging if you have sort of a desk job, right? Because you've got to get up, you've got to move. So physical activity doesn't have to come in the form of going to the gym and doing heavy weights and all those sorts of things. It just means moving more, doing anything to move.
Yes. So two types of physical activity. One is to maintain your musculoskeletal health,
Mm-hmm.
and second is to kick off that extra fat which you don't need, both externally, visible, or internally with internal organ fat and organ obesity, which can be guided by calculating your body mass index. So, which is also linked to the cardiac health, which is called cardio exercises, which do to train your heart to accustom to the extreme scenarios. So these are the different type of exercises. But everything,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it doesn't need to go. It doesn't, you can adapt yourself to one type of exercises which you can do on a regular basis. That's more important. Some people try to go to gym and they don't regularly follow up there. Some people walk or run for a couple of days and then stop. So consistency is the key. So whichever way of you want to be physically active, you can also join those nice dancing classes and
Mm-hmm.
Zumba and what all. Everything is whatever you do in a moderate intensity helps your body. So it helps your body right from simple
Mm-hmm.
running to all these um, measures which I told you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The next one, I got to admit that I really, really struggle with, and that is getting good quality sleep. Not enough. Yeah. So let's talk about this. How important is sleep to the equation?
Uh, 6 to 8 hours of sound sleep is what is needed for a good mental and organic health. So uh, otherwise, uh, uh, your performance is deteriorated the next day,
Mm-hmm.
because your brain needs to be uh, briskly active when you're thinking, when you're trying to do some complex things, when you're at work. So 6 to 8 hours of sleep is very important for anybody. But some people do have in some problems where it's not um, um, they're in their hand. It's insomnia. It's called primary insomnia, where you have a sleeping
Mm-hmm.
problem, where you don't initiate sleep, or some people initiate sleep but they cannot maintain sleep. Some
Mm-hmm.
people do get up because of various problems like night tremor and
Mm-hmm.
night vivid dreams and all of that. And some people have another associated problem called sleep apnea, which disturbs their sleep by self awakening and choking phenomena. So these are all the different sleeping problems. It is not only about the mental health. So yeah, anxiety and depression is also another primary cause of secondary insomnia, for which you have to treat your anxiety and depression to get rid of the sleeping issues, right from non-pharmacological measures to pharmacological measures. Everything is available, but your sleep is important. 6 to 8 hours of sound sleep is very important to function the next day.
All right. I know Rebecca is there waiting to jump in the conversation so we can talk about the Wellness Month initiative. But we're going to go through this list, because again, just even if it's a reminder, it's important to know. So, eating balanced meals, limiting processed foods, and staying hydrated, all part of the dietary things that you can do. I know Shamari, I'm sure we'll be booking the nutritionist soon for them to come on so we can talk about how to identify what processed foods are. But one of the tricks that I've learned is when you look at the list of ingredients, if it has more than 3 or 4 ingredients, it's a processed food. Like if the ingredient list is extremely long, that's all sorts of stuff in there that you just don't want to be putting in your body. Managing stress, protecting your mental well being, and seeking help early when needed. So that's extremely important. Avoiding tobacco and limiting alcohol. I'm waiting for the day that you guys actually say avoiding tobacco and alcohol, Dr. Sandeep, because we now know that the emerging, not even emerging, the evidence is really, really firm now that there is no safe level of alcohol consumption, but it is, still socially acceptable for people to have a drink here, there, and everywhere sometimes. But talk a little bit about alcohol, because I know that's a tough one for people to give up.
Yeah, so the limitations of the alcohol, there is always a debate where people um, come to you and ask what is a legal limit. I mean, not legal, like legal
That's a
limit is
safe,
another
safe
thing.
amount.
That is another one. So what is the amount of alcohol you can healthily have? So it is difficult to say. Alcohol is measured in those units, depending on what type of alcohol you take. So you say they usually tell less than 14 units of alcohol a week is okay, but I would say no alcohol or alcohol free for a long period of time, and then you do very occasionally whenever there is a very important event or a social event is what I would suggest. Um, because it again, it's a lot of things is there attached to the genetics of the liver. So how your
Mhm,
liver metabolizes alcohol is not same for everybody. So some people who drink more than 14 units a week for more than 10 years don't even have anything on the liver, not even an inch of fat or the liver enzymes
mhm,
deranged. So a lot depends on the way the liver handles the alcohol. For some people it does it very
mhm,
well. For some people it does not. So a single binge drink for the weekend itself will impair the liver functions. Two liver functions will go up, and it'll give a hint telling that, look, you cannot binge. You are the person. You cannot have alcohol like this.
mhm,
You have to restrict less than 14 units per month, not for weeks. So the strategies for reducing consumption is like you always have to choose the lower strength, opt for the drinks with lower alcohol by volume, not a very high high alcohol
mhm,
like 40, 50%, 60% by volume. And size matters a lot, so you have to usually choose smaller glasses and try to restrict and stop. You have to hydrate yourself well when you're drinking and drink responsibly. But the best advice is to stop if you don't need to. um, so yeah, so the alternate drinks like water and healthy. There's nothing like healthy sodas, but it's better than if sugar content is less, you can try to do an alternate one. The restricting is the key here. Restricting is the
Mm-hmm.
key. As you know, we're all in these places where alcohol cannot be banned for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's a tough
in my
one.
in India, I know in one of a couple of states, the alcohol is completely banned. So
Mm.
imagine what happens to those states when you ban alcohol.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah,
People leave.
They
no,
go
people
across the
don't
border.
leave. People don't
They're
leave.
probably
People
still, they're
adapt.
probably
People
still,
adapt.
yeah, they're probably just still drinking it, putting it in the tea. But yeah, it's hard. And I mean, I struggle not with the alcohol because I don't drink, but I do struggle with what we can drink in terms of like only water and tea. And I'm just like, well, that's boring. I mean, you want to throw in a Pepsi or a Jupina or something every once in a while, but none of those things have really proven to be because of the amount of sugar in it, for sure. They're not really a healthy option. So for me, a soda is like my alcohol. Like I try to limit it a lot these days. And if I can skip it, I really try to hold on to just that glass of water. All right. So maintaining a healthy work-life balance that goes back to your mental health and wellness and just, trying to know that there's more to life than just working 24/7. You've got to socialize, get out there with friends. The people who have lived to be centenarians, they have a very healthy social life. So those are people who are going out playing, bingo, dominoes, whatever, with their friends. And so that's important. We're social animals. So keeping a really good social network as well. So early checkups, regular checkups, I should say, being really, really important to help sort of detect a lot of these conditions. Let's go ahead and bring Rebecca into the conversation now. Rebecca is going to be talking to us about the partnership with the DART organization and why this partnership was started and why it's so extremely significant. Good morning, Miss Rebecca.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are
all?
you?
I'm great, thank you. Really good.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. So, as you can see from the conversation, wellness is, at the forefront of everything, really, especially here for February with Health City Cayman Islands and the DART organization. So, tell us a little bit about this partnership and how and why the partnership got started.
So, Health City is very focused on not just reactive care, but very much on preventative care. And so when we decided to partner with the Cabana Bay organization, it was more so that we were coming into Cabana Bay. We also have a clinic within Cabana Bay and, of course, our new hospital there as well. So we thought it would be a great partnership to get together and to really help the Cabana Bay tenants and the Cabana Bay organisation itself really sort of focus for the whole month on wellness, and not just like we've just been listening to all the conversations, not just on physical wellness, but mental health wellness as well, and just about creating that community which helps to people to get out and about and see what's available. So the Wellness Month is a whole month-long initiative. So it started a couple of days ago. We actually had our first event, the Milk Bar, which was held in our cafe at Health City Cabana Bay, and that was for new mums with babies, and again to sort of promote that community spirit. They talked about breastfeeding, obviously promoting healthy feeding for babies, and just it was a lovely morning actually, and they all really enjoyed that. So that was what we kicked off the month with first, and then we have like storytelling, we have the farmers market promoting healthy foods. We have a Fit Kids Wellness trial at My First Gym. We've got a mornings 5K run, which is on February the 6th, Friday. And then, of course, we've got the Addison Kelly run, which I noticed that has 6,000 registrants, and more to come. So that's great. People must come and register for that. Then on the Monday, we've got another baby massage class at Health City. Again, to sort of look after our little ones and promote health and wellness from early on. And all of these events are on the Camana Bay website, so camanabay.com, to be able to just see each one, because I'm sure you're all probably trying to find a pen and paper to see what's going on. We have at the farm a nature play workshop at Boabab on Sunday the 15th of February. Blackbeards, talking about no alcohol. They've got non-alcoholic wine tasting on February the 19th. And also there is a mocktail available from bar next door. So everybody's promoting that non-alcoholic drinks as well, which is great. And then there's a wellness expo, which is on Saturday, February the 21st. So we'll have a Health City booth there where we'll be performing the basic health checks there, and also lots of other vendors. So Align will be there, the physios, and several other vendors as well. So an FSA to doing things. There's just so much going on the whole week. And then also those that don't have sort of activities have also participated in sort of tenant offers. So lots of the organisations within Camana Bay have lots of promotions. So FS8 has a promotion, Audiophile, My First Gym, Ame, Le Visage, Theory of Motion has a month-long plank challenge. So you don't have to actually go into the store and do a plank for the whole month, but there's a challenge in there. So they have a special machine, a stealth core trainer, and you go in there and you can win gift cards. So $200 gift cards for the first place, male and female, $100 gift cards. So great initiatives there, which is quite exciting. And then finally, Yala has a 10% discount on their bowls. They have a functional bowl and also a wellness feature bowl to promote healthy eating. So that's one of the new bowls that's just opposite the Audi garage there. And yeah, so that's
okay. So all of these events are open to the public, or is it just the tenants in Camana Bay?
No, they're open to the public. There's also a month-long step challenge within Camana Bay. And Health City has its own step challenge going on right now, which is getting very competitive. I just have to take a note that Dr. Sandeep, you're not registered on the step challenge yet, I've noticed.
I think I missed out on the email. I missed out.
But you know what, Sandy, I have to ask Rebecca. I'm looking at this step challenge, and Rebecca already has 118,000 miles in the last 2 days, 3 days?
1,000 steps, you mean?
Steps.
Probably 3 or 4 days, maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm a runner,
and
so
that's 3 days. 3 days.
I'm technically not in the competition.
Well, you're you can track it. I'm like, how?
That's from running.
So many steps in. I'm like, they must be running like 10 miles. What's going on?
Just not using the lift at your workplace will add on 100 or 200, 400 a day. So that's a very important step, not to use the lift.
Yeah, and even so, those people even participate in either of those challenges. There's lots of prizes throughout the month as well, just so that we don't want to put people off for the likes of someone like me they're doing lots of steps. We're just encouraging everyone, like you said, just to get to the 5,000 to the 7,500. So it's really just to get everyone active. And Camana Bay also have mapped out a trail. So where the Festival of Greens is, just where they do all the concerts. There's a nice nature trail that's safe for kids and pets and all that kind of stuff, and away from traffic as well. So that's a nice little place for people to go and exercise as well.
All right. Well, let's talk about the executive health check for February as well. I hear you've got that on special.
We have, yeah. So there's off the basic health check, there's $199. So it makes it very, very affordable because there's an awful lot of tests that go into that health check. So those health checks are available at Health City Camana Bay, the brand new hospital. And you also get a lovely breakfast there at Chef Shetty's Cafe on the rooftop. And it's a great way to find out all your baseline, and a great sort of, we all think we'll start off, like you said, in January with all these New Year's resolutions, but that's why we did it in February, because we really wanted to push people to continue throughout the year, because wellness should be a lifestyle, not just a little initiative that we're doing.
Right. Yeah. So I saw someone a few days ago asking whether or not they could go to the cafeteria at Camana Bay just to eat, or did they have to be a patient at the hospital?
I saw that too.
Because people really enjoy the restaurant food there. All right. Miss Marjorie has a question. She says, fat around the liver, what can clear up that, please? So that's about the lifestyle changes, right, Dr. Sandeep?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the lifestyle changes and eating habits. It is one of the metabolic dysfunction associated with certain people only. Again, there's a strong genetic link. Not everybody. I've seen a leaner and very thin individuals also having fatty
Mm-hmm.
liver. Um, so, what when you have fatty liver, it indicates you that there is some risk for you to have insulin resistance and further, the risk of liver problems very rarely, which it progresses if you have the stimulating, factors going on like alcohol or external factors like obesity, cholesterol, very high lipids, very high triglycerides,
Mm-hmm.
which can again form on the liver there. And there's another entity called non-alcoholic fatty liver. NASH is a very dangerous type of fatty liver, especially common in women and obese people uh, with a strong family history of NASH, which progresses quickly to the next stages of liver problem.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would suggest, what I would advise for the for the community is that fatty liver is not a major health issue. It just is an indicator telling that it is. Look, this is what it is. Modify the numbers, modify your lifestyle. But most of the time, it doesn't progress. You would end up at the end of your life also, the fat liver remains the same. If it is grade one, it remains a grade one only. And most difficult thing to get rid of it. People do ask me, 4 years you do the best of the best exercises and diet, all the numbers being normal, still the
Mm-hmm.
ultrasound report shows you the grade one fatty liver. So it doesn't cause any symptoms. Many people think that, oh, it causes me abdominal pain and abdominal symptoms. No, never. It is a silent catch with an ultrasound when you do it. So if you stay at grade one and do not progress when you do follow-up ultrasounds in few years, that's a good thing. That's a good
Mm-hmm.
thing. So if you're progressing, then you need to be more aggressive on diagnosing it. Probably you might end up in doing some other important test called elastogram, where it says if the liver is definitely is really going into the next stage of the problem. And the last resort, if you don't have answers, if it's still progressing, is the liver biopsy. So most of
Mm-hmm.
the time, it just is an indicator. Um, uh, with the blood test will tell us whether it's an invasive fatty liver or just a layer of the fat on the surface of the liver. If it
Mm-hmm.
is the liver enzymes are impaired, then we have to be more cautious, more closely monitoring for everything. Yeah, so that's
Okay.
what about it.
All right, folks. So take advantage. Thank you so much, Dr. Sandeep. Take advantage of the special. It's $199 US for the executive health check for the month of February, celebrating Wellness Month. Check out the full calendar of events at Camana
199
Bay.
US off the executive check.
Off. Oh, my apologies.
Yes.
199. That's a discounted
Correct.
dollar amount off.
And
Yes.
typically,
Okay.
most insurance providers have at least $500 towards a
Okay.
wellness check, and our level is $699. So with this $199 off, if you have insurance, typically the insurance will cover it. So you probably won't pay anything out of pocket.
Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you so much, Shamari. Shamari is paying attention.
No problem.
Front of
the class
anybody
today.
walking up saying, Sandy told me it's only $199.
Front of the class today, right? Front of the class.
Exactly. $199 US off. Okay. Thank you so much. Morning, Michelle. Jim says, I somewhat understand more frequent services are available at Health City Camana Bay. However, this location is not convenient for residents living in the Eastern District's Northside, Rumpont, Boydentown, and surrounding areas. For some, it's impractical to drive past Health City High Rock to reach Camana Bay. The additional traffic, etc. Now, are there services other than maternity? Because I know maternity is one of the new services at Camana Bay location. Are there any other services that are not available at the other location? I thought pretty much everything was at both.
Yeah, there's only the NICU is not available at Health City East End, but the others, both the services available at both locations. So.
All right, Jim.
You may have to, if you need an outpatient type of service, you may have to plan the day.
Yes.
Accordingly, the doctor may not be there that specific day or that time, because we have physicians that go back and forth, so that we service both. However, if it's an urgent care type of scenario, regardless, any point in time, you can come in either facility and we'll be able to see you and treat you. However, maybe the individual wanted a Wednesday, and doctor is in there until Thursday. But we definitely, if you need to be seen in East End, we'll definitely be able to make that happen across our specialties outside of what Rebecca would have mentioned with NICU and potentially some levels of maternity. But even so, we would be able to make that happen if you needed to see a doctor in East End.
All right, wonderful. So, when you call the main number, make sure that you indicate if you have a preference for location, which one. Jim, I hear what you say. I live in, I guess, technically in Eastern District in Bodden Town, but I'm in town so much that what I find a lot of times is it turns out that the Cayman Bay location is actually more convenient for me because I'm already in town for meetings and, picking up Gigi. So she always goes to the one at Cayman Bay, because it's just actually turns out it's more convenient for us. So there you go. And of course, I'm not having any more babies, but I love that the NICU unit is really doing amazing things. And there are lots of babies now being born at Cayman Bay Health City. I love it. Their facility is really, really nice for the babies as well. As someone who's actually had to use a NICU unit, which I thought was fabulous anyway, it does make a difference to have the level of expertise and to be just in a very warm and welcoming environment when you're going through such a stressful situation. All right. Well, thank you so much to the Health City Cayman Island team. They are back in the saddle every single Tuesday morning from 7:30 to about 8:30, the first hour of the day. Dr. Sandeep, our first guest for 2026. And of course, Shamari is here. Now, Shamari, before we let you go, Super Bowl Sunday, is it this coming Sunday?
It is this coming Sunday. Now, Unfortunately, our Dolphins aren't there, but some good news is that we have a new head coach who is Jeff Hafley, I think is his name. See, he's from Green Bay, as well as a new general manager, which is John Eric Sullivan. So, we're starting anew as the Dolphins. So hopefully come September, we'll make a lot of moves before then and actually build from the draft. But yes, Super Bowl Sunday is this Sunday coming.
Now you have a very famous Super Bowl party. Is it still on?
I don't know if it's famous, but
infamous.
That is famous. Yes, since long years.
Seahawks and the Patriots, and everybody knows we hate the Patriots, so we are all Seahawks fans this Sunday.
Okay, this Sunday. All right.
Yeah, apart from the few, a lot of them are bandwagon fans. So they were Patriots fans and then they became Kansas City fans, and now they're back to being Patriots fans. But we'll allow that. We'll allow that.
All right. So you'll still hold it, weather permitting, I suppose.
No, weather. It's happening.
It's on.
It's on.
Rebecca, thank you so much for coming on and joining us as well and telling us a bit more about the wellness initiatives, folks. It's a lot going on, so go check out the calendar. It's really full of a lot of fun activities. Marjorie says that she is eating, she heard that cloves are good for you, and she's been swallowing 2 cloves every day. Is that helping anything? I think if I were to pretend to put on my doctor hat for a minute, I'm going to tell you that, Miss Marjorie, you hear about these little things, and I guess every little thing that's positive might help. But if that's all you're doing, that's probably not going to have a significant difference in your health. It mightn't hurt you, but you want to do the things that we know actually work. Number 1, move more. And I happen to know Miss Marjorie's a diabetic. So even if you're already a diabetic, get moving, because it will help to keep your sugar levels under control, but get moving, move as much as possible, and be very, very cognizant of what you're putting in your mouth, because as the old adage goes, you cannot outrun a bad diet. So no matter how physically active and amazing you are, if your diet is atrocious, it still is going to take its toll. So there's lots of amazing things. We've got the Addison Kelly Butterfly 5K coming up for February 7th, which is this weekend. So you can participate in that. You've got the Wellness Expo, which I'm going to mark my calendar because I do want to attend that. And then we've got yoga. We have every Wednesday in February. We've got trio classes for kids. Going to be held at where is My First Gym, by the way?
Oops. It's above It's where Trinca used to be, so above Island.
Oh, okay.
Jewelers,
Good,
yeah.
good landmark.
Oh.
Good
And it's
landmark.
where FS8 is as well. So there's FS, so the parents can go and work out and then pop the kids in my first gym.
Ah, okay. I'd never even heard of them. So I might
Above the
check it
cinema,
out.
right? Above the cinema.
Correct. Yeah.
No, well, yes.
Yes.
The eyeglass place is right below, and then you take the
Yeah.
little lift. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, all right. So I might check that out. And speaking of physical activity for kids, like start them early. Today is actually sports day for Gigi, so she is
nice.
going to be running. So fingers crossed, she's going to outrun everyone. But yep, she enjoys a little activity here and there. You know, we try to keep her active because I think it's just lifestyle. Like if you start early and you instill good habits, hopefully those will hold forever. Miss Marjorie says, but I love to eat. I feel you, girl. I know the feeling all too well. Yep, I love to eat too. All right, folks, have a beautiful day.
Thank you much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Miss Marjorie, the battle is real. She's like, I love to eat. I feel you, but reduce it. Like I love to eat, but right now I've been doing most days 1 meal a day. And that 1 meal, I make it worth it now. I'm gonna enjoy the 1 meal. But yep, I cut out snacking. So I'm not doing any snacks. I'm not, so that means like no chips, no candy as much as possible. If I'm gonna do a little treat, I'll do like dark chocolate now with like almonds. So I'm trying to make some improvements. Sometimes I cheat. Of course I cheat. That coffee ice cream that I love so much, although I don't drink coffee, is next level amazing. So, just do 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, be as good as you can. And then, 20% you might cheat here and there, but it'll be okay. All right, folks, happy Tuesday. So glad to have Health City back. Someone just messaged, said, I am really enjoying the show. We miss them. And so it's good to have them back with us. Yeah, and they've always got something going on. I mean, their calendar of events and the things that they keep on top of is amazing. I mean, they do like everything and all things at the same time. Shamari has an amazing team that, make it all happen because they really plan a lot of community collaborations and stuff together. So it's fantastic. All right, let me just see here. Where is the calendar? Somebody said, okay, let me see if I can find it, because I know if I can find it, then you can find it. So that's always good. Give me 1 second here. So it's actually at kimanabay.com. So I'm going to have a quick look. And then, I am sure that we'll be able to find it together. All right, kimanabay.com. Let's see. Oh, no, there's no Y in Kimana Bay. I always accidentally put the Y. Okay, so Kimana Bay, and then we have, hold on. I'm just scrolling. Give me 1 second. Has the quality improved, or are we still fuzzy? Hold on, let me just check Facebook. I noticed that Facebook was fuzzy this morning. By the way, breaking news this morning, Sarah Ferguson's charity is to close for the foreseeable future after all of these Epstein revelations for the last document dump. So boy, oh boy, oh boy. No bueno. I think we're still fuzzy, huh? Let me just refresh. Oh no, not looking too bad. Yeah, okay. Not looking. Oh, one thing I have noticed though, one of my lights, one of the lights is actually off. Let me turn that light on. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So let's have a look at the Kimana Bay website together, and then we can find the calendar of events. I know you guys like a good visual, and then we need to help somebody find their wallet. Okay. The one thing about Kimana Bay is you can go there and just walk around the property. It's such a big, beautiful property. You walk from one side to the next, you're getting those steps in. So let me see, where's the calendar? Let me see if I can get the exact link from the Health City team for the calendar, because I don't see an obvious calendar anywhere. Life and work, live and work. No. See and do events. Aha. Maybe this is it. So, what's on? Okay. So they have, I guess this is sort of the event. Oh, they've got a Scrabble club. 18 plus. Okay. You can play Scrabble. Who knew? All right, let me go back because I thought I saw something here that said, see and do, and then sports and wellness. Maybe if we click on this. Jog, walk, bike, boat, swim. Okay, it's not so obvious. So I'm going to see if they can, if we can get a link to the events or calendar. Okay, so leave that with me. I'll ask the Health City team to provide that to us because it's not really like in an obvious spot. And I know you guys don't like to hunt for stuff, honey chill. So, they say that they have, Cayman Bay has partnered with Pickleball Cayman, expanded access to our 4 newly renovated pickleball. The knee is ready for pickleball. So I am loving this. Oh, those courts look beautiful. There's nothing like a nice colored pickleball court. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness. So they have 4 courts dedicated for public use at the Cayman Bay Festival Green. So there's some over by the school, but those I think are more for like people who live in the area, who work in Cayman Bay, but these are public courts. So this is fun. I like that. Pickleball.ky is the website where you can actually book. Oh, is that through Pickleball Cayman? Oh, wait a minute. Is it? Wait a minute. Pickleball Cayman features for. Oh, so you book through them for the courts at Festival Green. Oh, interesting. Okay, I did not know that. Learn something new every day. And one of our astute listeners says, here it is. It is, just scroll down and the wellness calendar is there. This is the main page. Oh, okay. Aha, thank you so much. All right, so let me, somebody found it. Thank you, I appreciate that. And this is the wellness calendar. They said it was there. Maybe I just needed to keep scrolling. And so this is everything in the wellness calendar. So this is fantastic. So let me share this link with all of you. I'll put it in the chat section here. And if you need it on the WhatsApp, just WhatsApp me and I'm happy to send it to you. So today is the 3rd. So they've got the farmers. So this is like the whole events calendar for the month. And then they've got the wellness events kind of listed here as well. Okay. This is great. They've got like morning run, walk, and talk on Friday. That's coming up. They have tomorrow is the farmers market. And then we also have my first gym fit kids wellness trial. So they have ages 5 to 7 from 4:40 until 5:15. And then 8+ is from 5:30 to 6:15. And it's free. 8 children per class. I think I'm going to book Gigi for that. She would probably enjoy that. So that's going to be on the 4th, which is tomorrow, the 11th, and the 25th. She might be a little bit sore tomorrow after sports day today, but I want to get her involved in some like stuff, some classes and stuff. So I will check that out after the show. I will be signing her up for something. All right, folks, link me if you need the link directly, but it definitely is there. I'm happy to send it. And thank you so much. Thank you, lady, for sharing it with me. She knows who she is. Thank you. A student, A student. Oh, still on the reef on South Sound. So whose boat is this? OMG. So someone lost the boat. It's the there was footage posted of it this weekend where my goodness, I guess they can't get out there to rescue it. I don't know. But I think it was associated with a business or something. But I saw in one of the groups, I love Cayman, I think it was, that this boat was in distress and it got hooked up on the reef. And wow, I guess it's not making it off the reef. I don't know. So interesting. And someone has posted a video that just shows you Mother Nature. Listen, Mother Nature is what she is. I need to go walk on the beach this morning because someone posted a video saying the sand is back. This storm actually brought sand in. Isn't that amazing? Sometimes we just got to get out of Mother Nature's way. And these cyclical things will happen. She'll take the sand for sure, especially if we're building too close to the shoreline. But then apparently she'll give it back during a storm. Wow, this looks good. Huh. I think the lesson here is to stay as far back away from the shoreline as possible so that when Mother Nature's doing her thing, she's roaring and whatever, just let it happen and get the heck out of the way. Yeah. She'll repair herself if we allow her. That's like during COVID. Remember how it was so nice to see Mother Earth just taking a breath from all of the human things that we do to her, and all of a sudden the smog was clearing, and somebody was calling me, and all these amazing things. So it just goes to really show the point, which is, be nicer to Mother Nature and give her a good break, and she'll repair herself. But this is so interesting. All right, I'm looking for the video, and there's lots of videos and pictures up of the wave action, especially in town and along 7 Mile Beach area. Again, I really want to implore people to please, my apologies, to please take your time with the water. When I saw that baptism and the person like literally, it's on the one hand, I'm going to ask Jason for the baptism video so I can show you guys. But on the one hand, I kind of chuckled a little bit because I'm like, well, maybe that person had a lot of sin to wash away, because the water came in and knocked them down. Like, oh, you've been sinning too much. Let's really give you a big whammy. It's a joke. Don't get it in your feelings this morning. It's a joke. Sarah, is it still out of focus for you? Yeah, sometimes we have to refresh in our end, and sometimes you got to refresh in your end. But yes, what was I going to tell you guys now? Yep. So I chuckled when I saw it because I thought, maybe that person, been up to a little bit of naughtiness, and the good Lord is like, you need an extra dose of baptism water. But in all seriousness, I also think that it's a little bit dangerous, in fact, to be doing a baptism in that water, because I bet you them people can't swim, not for nothing, but yeah, it's kind of dangerous. And they kept getting knocked over, and they could barely hang on to the guy. I'm just downloading it. I'll show you guys here the video in a second. All right, Sarah, so good to see you. Miss Marjorie says, I love this weather. Thank you, Lord. I do as well, except, like I said, the ocean waves means that no ships can come in. And I'm not talking about tourist ships. I'm talking about supply ships. So no food right now can come in. None of the, because we import a lot, as you guys know. So basically none of our supplies can come in. And some of us are actually waiting on stuff on those boats, honey child. So hopefully, we'll see something soon. Yeah. All right. Okay. Fantastical. All right. We just make up words as we go in. Fantastical. Okay, so I'm gonna look for the boat video again because I did see it somewhere on Sunday, I think it was. So the boat is still out there. I think it's probably just too dangerous for them to go out there and try to recover the boat. So they are going to let it sit there until, hopefully the weather calms down. I'm hoping there's no oil spillage or anything. And this is why it's important to pay attention to the weather. When things are about to get, kind of rough. Bring your vessels in to safe harbor, so that we can make sure that we're protecting the environment as much as possible. So there have been a lot of people sharing some really awesome shots of the waves, and especially at sunset. Thank you so much to all of you who go out there and take a nice sunset image. Photograph. Look at this one. I love this one. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Yeah, I love that. Very pretty. And here's the pictures of the beach where people are like, the sand is back. OMG. I love this. Hopefully it's going to stay a while. But I do think that the government needs a manageable plan of how we're going to try to get that sand to stay put. Yeah, look at that. So gorgeous. Huh. So interesting that literally one storm can make such a significant difference. I will certainly be keeping an eye on that situation. Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful. It is beautiful to watch when the waves are this, they're just, it's like powerful and beautiful and everything all at once. So, yeah. But the best thing to do, quite frankly, is to stay out of it. If I had advice for you, look at it from a distance, but stay out of the water because it's just too dangerous. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Uh-oh. I cannot hear you. Give me 1 sec. I did update and restart the phone earlier, so let me just see. 1 second for me. Hello?
Hello. Good
Hi.
morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm giving thanks. Just in some pain, but it's the weather.
Oh.
So we give thanks for the weather, and I'm enjoying
Yeah.
beautiful pictures.
Yes.
But, I want to make arrangements with you. Want to live with you.
Okay.
With the situation, and for you to see some stuff, and we're going to go through it with a live because of what is happening. And I think everything is unfair.
All right. So just WhatsApp me probably one day next week. We can have a look. This week is a little bit.
Tell me next week. I know this week, next week.
I know. Listen.
Call you next week.
No. That's the mistake you're making. Don't call me next week. Send me a message today to book a day for next week.
Send you a message.
Yes.
I'm just that's the pet name next week.
Oh. No. We gotta just book it. So, but this week, because we've got the minister coming on. We have Recover coming on tomorrow. So yes. But if you message me, then we can just book you next week. And once your day is booked, your day is booked. So just send me a WhatsApp message.
And I must tell you that I'm proud of myself in spite of what is happening.
Good. Well, that's good.
But I take school for it and I pass.
Look at that. Yeah, that's awesome.
I will give it some update. That's what keeps me mentally.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Do what you can. Do what you can. Nothing's perfect in life, but we just keep pushing forward. All right, my dear.
Thank you so much, and be blessed.
Thank you so much.
All
All right, darling.
right.
So I'm still looking at some of these pictures. She'll message me and we'll get her on the show. I'm still looking at some of these pictures, and some of them are so amazing. Someone got photos of some owls. Look at this. Juvenile. They said juvenile owls. By the way, some pigeons got away from somebody. If you have lost, it's about 5, I think, pigeons. Marlon said they're called foot tail or something pigeons. They have a very unique, like they have like extra long feathers on the feet. If those are your pigeons, please, somebody found them and they've been hanging out at their house. Come for your pigeons. We posted it, but nobody has claimed these pigeons yet. But look at these little owls. My goodness, aren't they cute? You know, sometimes I see owls flying at night, but they're so stealth. Like I only kind of might, sometimes you might hear them and you get a glimpse of them. But look at these two actually perched in a tree. I must say, I don't normally see them in a tree at all, because it's hard to see them at night and they come out at night. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, they're so pretty. Look. You know, they have very good eyesight because they come out at night and they hunt at night and everything like that. So although you can't see them, believe me, they see you. But this person actually saw them and took and shared this footage. I mean, this is gorgeous. I love this. Wow. And then here's some more shots of the, you know, the Iron Shore and by the water. Very, very beautiful. Thank you for sharing these. What a glorious photo. Look at the clouds. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. So yes, I love when you guys share pictures online. And like I said, these were shared on one of the I Love Cayman social media pages. So a lot of people have been sharing videos and pictures of the weather. And we thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Lots of angry ocean pictures too. Let me show you one of these. You see the water rolling in, that nor'wester. It's like, whoa. But I'm enjoying it. You know, we don't get it often. It's probably going to last, I think, a couple more days. And then I hear there's another wave coming. So hopefully in between that, we can have some boats come in and offload some supplies. But look at that water. So gorgeous, but yet so powerful at the same time. Look at that. Huh. Yeah. Don't go in it. Look at it from a distance, zoom in, and take a picture. All right. Thank you very much. Let me see here. Just seeing what else is going on. So I will send out the calendar of wellness events in the CMR channel. I think that's probably the easiest way for most people to get access to it. One person said, "This is my current situation. I so wish that I was in Cayman." And of course, it's a picture of them through the screen door looking at snow. Everything covered in a blanket of snow. And they're like, "Oh, I so wish I was there in the tropics right now." So, yep, give me the wave action versus this is what they're saying. Negative 35 today in my town, says Sylvain. Negative 35? Oh, Lord Jesus, that is freezing. You know, I don't mind a 35, but a negative 35? Ooh la la. And then somebody else posted a beach photo, said, "Just left today, Cayman. Look at the sand between my toes." All right, folks. Absolutely gorgeous. Over 10,000 flight cancellations because of the wicked storm. Wicked meaning, you know, it's rough out there. Wow. Big shout out to Chef Roman. I see him doing his thing. I've had his food and it is so amazing. Oh my God, look at this chocolate cake that somebody just posted that he did for them. With strawberries and all the berries on top. Oh my God, chef. Oh, I've had his food at like kids' parties and stuff. And I'm just like, wow. He is so good. Him and his entire team catering these events, making me hungry this morning, looking at chocolate cake that we will not be partaking. But look at how pretty it is. Isn't that gorgeous? We have some amazing people on this island with really wonderful culinary skills. I will tell you, by far, Cayman has some of the best restaurants I personally think in the world. Now, I've not gone everywhere and I've not eaten everywhere, but I've eaten in a few places, and I'm still going to stand by that. Cayman, our culinary options, we've got a variety of options. We have amazing chefs and caterers, and it's just top notch. Really, really beautiful. Thank you again to the person who shared that lovely photo as well. Okay. Oh, they've actually got a video of the let's see if we can download the video of the owls. They actually posted a video as well. Oh, I love this. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if we can grab this video. They're just so cute. I am just in love with these little owls. Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the press conference on Friday that the Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Kathy Wilkes, had. It was good. First of all, can I just tell you how lovely she looked? I mean, not for nothing, but she just looked very good and well put together. I mean, she looks rested. So I don't know how much rest she's actually getting, but she actually looked really rested. And she had some of the board members there. Some were not able to make it. And so these are new board members that have been appointed. And I was a little bit surprised to see that Tim Ridley, who is former partner at Maples and Calder, actually joining the team. So I like it, because I think from what I know of Tim, and he did say to people that we go way back. Oh my gosh, Tim, I think you were actually aging me at this point, but we go way back to the Maples days. And we have a really interesting history. I'm not going to really get too into it, but if you know, you know. And so the people who were there back in those days at Maples and Calder, they will probably remember that there's a story. There's a story with Tim and I, former partner. I think he was the managing partner when he retired. And so it is a very, very interesting story. And it was one of those moments in a relationship, professional relationship, obviously, but it's one of those moments in a relationship where something happens and both parties, I think, recognize respect is due. Yeah. And so we had that moment. A lot of you are not going to know the story, but those of you who do, people like Mary, honey child, she was there 30 years ago, and so she will know the story, and respect is due. And I will never forget that in the moment I did what I had to do, and Tim was like, okay. And we good. Yeah. But I think this is going to be, I like it. I think that, we talk about having professionals on these boards, persons with certain qualifications, and they bring certain key attributes to the table. Of course, one of the questions that I had was in relation to the financial side of things and not actually having a CPA on board. And I think the minister responded to that adequately, saying, not at this time, but, and then the little nugget that we got out of that, the additional information, is that actually Mr. Ridley has said that, listen, this is just an interim thing for him for 2026. And the next person who's coming over, although he couldn't name who they are, he said that they are with Maples as well, and they have the accounting background, the adequate accounting background. But, even as a managing partner, he would be well-versed in his breadth of experience. He would also be extremely well-versed with looking at financials and having that discussion, that relevant discussion with the experts. And so I'm hopeful that the HSA can really start to make some strides and to get it together, because there have been a lot of things going on there that have not been entirely impressive, as you guys well know. The other thing is accountability, I think, is so incredibly important. And I'm happy to hear that the ministerial team have actually decided to commission this audit, if you will. And so I think that that audit is also going to be a really good step in the right direction to see where the issues really are. Because it's one thing for me to say, these are all the issues that I'm hearing about, and this is what's happening. It's another thing to actually have all of those things verified by an independent body. And the ministry now can use that report to say, listen, this isn't just what CMR is saying or what CNS is saying or this one or that one or what people in the community are chattering about. We now have experts, who look at SOPs, who look at processes to say, this is where you guys are obviously falling short. And these are some things that need to be changed. Maybe some heads have to roll. There still has to be accountability. Does management have it together? Is management going to be able to deliver on the recommendations? And if they're not, then you got to just fall on your sword and say, hey, I've served my time. That's the best I can do. Let me just move on. There's no shame in saying that maybe a position or an organization has outgrown you, right? If you were there for 20 years ago, the HSA was not what it is today. And maybe the organization has just outgrown you, outpaced you, whatever. You can't keep up. You don't have the management skills, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think there's anything shameful in just saying that I need to step down. In the corporate world, this happens all the time. And you say, yeah, I got to step down and let someone else who has the relevant experience dealing with the size of an organization, magnitude, whatever, allow them to come in and actually take over the helm and do a better job. I think that that's like the respectful thing to do and the professional thing to do as well. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We're anxiously awaiting the report so we can see what the details are. And then certainly we will no doubt take it from there. All right. So Cayman has stepped up to the plate as promised, and we've sent the US $1 million in financial assistance to Jamaica. It's part of the latest contribution, forms part of the government's overall pledge of approximately US $1.2 million, which was announced in October after the devastating Hurricane Melissa hit the country of Jamaica. And, our government, our people were the first ones into Jamaica on our first available flight on Cayman Airways to show our support for the government and the people of Jamaica in what will be a very, very long road to recovery. So Honorable Premier Andre Ebanks said that dispersing the remainder of the pledge funds underscores Cayman's enduring partnership with the government of Jamaica and its people. So I like this. And of course, we have a photo of the team, as you would have seen in the article and on social media. And they have been very, very inclusive of the opposition. I think this is maturity at work. Although I keep hearing these rumors of the PPM and the opposition trying to make some moves on the government, don't do that. I mean, you guys would be so stupid right now. I mean, the people have spoken, whether you like it or not. The coalition government is in there, and the coalition government is, by all accounts, doing a decent job. And so, you got to just leave people alone to be able to do their job for the 4 years. This desire to be disruptive, just to grab a position. When the person said it to me this weekend, I'm like, I really hope that our people are not that stupid. I hope. There's no guarantees. Because some of our people are stupid, if I'm honest with you, right? But I said, if these politicians continue to play these sort of games, they have to comprehend that we, the people, are not going to accept it, right? So what we're going to start doing is not voting you in office at all. because then you won't go in and be disruptive to the people who are actually busy in trying to get the work done. How about that? So, I'm hearing little rumblings from people on the progressive side. And I think y'all just need to sit on the back bench, on the opposition bench, I should say, and just relax yourself. And it's even sadder to hear these rumblings when I know, for example, that this government has tried to be as inclusive as possible with opposition members. Like they're not trying to make this adversarial. They're like, listen, we've all been elected by the people of the Cayman Islands. We're in here to do a job. So we don't have any issues allowing the opposition to go to Jamaica with us on the flight and be part of this. So there's Mr. Joey, who's leader of the opposition, there with other government, the premier government ministers, J.E. Banks, Honorable J.E. Banks, and the Honorable, Nicholas DaCosta, my apologies. And they've been very, very inclusive. Don't mess up. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Y'all are just, come on now. I don't even want to hear this. I'm just like, really? Are you guys serious right now? Oh my goodness. Grow up here. Be mature. Miss Marjorie says, Kathy Wilkes is always very, very nice to me, and I love her. Spell that name with a K, and we got it. Jim says, stunningly beautiful. Love Mother Nature and God's plan alone. If we can get away from the cement jungle, there'll still be areas that are beautiful. Jim says he also saw surfers out there enjoying this weather. Just be careful, because those waves are no joke. Look at this. Here's the little owls. Look at them. Oh, they're making their little noise. Oh, look at their heads. Aren't they like one of the only birds that can turn their heads like a 360, I think? Look at that one. He's turning his head upside down. They're looking like, what you looking at? Why are you looking at us? Why are you taking a picture? They're adorable. Okay. Wow. Aw, so cute. Love it. Anthony says, was an Aussie an accountant too? Yes. I mean, I guess that's a fair question. Shaka says, this is the beginning of the gamification of Cayman politics. I hope not. I mean, we just need to. Aisle 2025 says, Sandy, Caymanians are struggling. Charity starts at home. Well, I agree with that. However, I also think that we have an obligation to help our neighbors in times of need. So everybody can say that they're struggling and that that's a reason to never help anyone. I guess that's one way that you could live in this world. Or you could take the approach that, by comparison, a lot of Caymanians are actually doing amazing things and amazingly well. And our definition of a struggle, is a little bit different than what other people have to go through. And so $1.2 million, yes, that's money, but we're also paying into the tens of millions of dollars supporting the needs assessment unit, which includes some people in need, but also includes a lot of people who just don't want to work. So, yeah. Aisle 2025 says they sent money over last year. So I think you're a little bit confused here. And this is why we want to make sure we're speaking in facts. They committed to they pledged approximately US $1.2 million, both in funds and in emergency relief supplies. So they have set this in portions. So this is not an additional pledge. This is part of the original pledge of $1.2 million in supplies and funding. So let me be very, very clear. This was announced last year, days after the storm. and they have sent a shipment of emergency relief funds, relief supplies valued at nearly $200,000 US. That was delivered by the delegation, which was led by the Premier, the Honorable Andre Ebanks, on October the 30th. That was the first relief flight to Jamaica. Now, this is additional, like subsequent, portions of that. All right. So this one now is about $333,000 community voucher program that's going to provide residents with vouchers for purchasing building materials for their home repairs, while also helping to stimulate the economic activity in the impacted areas. There's also going to be an additional one for education recovery, where they'll receive another $333,000 to assist specifically with rebuilding schools and procuring essential education supplies, including textbooks, chalkboards, tools, and other shipment. And then another $334,000 will go towards the agricultural restoration program to support farmers in recovering lost crops and livestock, enabling them to resume operations and restore some sort of economic stability. So it's being done, segmented. And so this is like the second of the planned allocations. So this is an additional money out 2025. This is part of the original pledged amount. Oh gosh, poor Isle is up in his feelings today. You are privileged to say that. Congrats. What a hot mess. I think that there's different levels of poverty that people experience. And even in Cayman, I went through the Baden Road area yesterday, and I looked at some of these homes that, I think that whole area, it'd be nice if that whole area could be upgraded. And so I'm very much aware of the poverty that people lived in, because I myself grew up in it. So I'm aware. I didn't grow up as poor as some people, of course not. But relatively speaking, our poverty is still nothing compared to the poverty of some of these other countries. Like when you see shanty towns in South Africa, you get a better idea of what poverty really looks like. Yes, people here are struggling, but I would be willing to bet that, we have free school lunches for kids because we're saying that our children are not getting enough nutritional meals at home. They're not getting enough to eat. That's horrible to say. And yet those same children, you guys are raising those same children to be some of the most ungrateful children on the planet, because they get food and they waste it. They get free food and they waste it. They throw it down. They have Clifton Hunter and John Gray school grounds looking like the trash bin, because they can just take one bite of a pizza and just drop it on the ground. So if we're really struggling, what y'all need to struggle with is your attitude. You need to struggle with improving the attitude. When you're getting free handouts from the government, teach your children to appreciate it. Because if they're really struggling, they're not getting the food, they should be grateful for what they're getting. But oh no, they're complaining. Some of y'all complaining that your children, you need more food because they're already obese, but apparently you want them to be even more obese in life. So you stretch out their little stomachs by the time they're 5 years old, overfeeding them. Not for nothing, but Caymanians can be some of the most entitled and ungrateful people in the world. And I can say that as a Caymanian. And it has nothing to do with, that I don't understand the struggle or I haven't been there. Every single day I'm struggling. That's why I get my behind up and I get to work. Because the day that I sit down and decide not to work, I too will not eat. Yeah. So that's the struggle right there. So, yep. I hear you loud and clear. But I also know that some of us need to do better. When I hear people are struggling, but yet they can find money to do nails and hair and go out partying and drinking every single weekend. And I'm just like, how hard is that struggle? Come again? Y'all better learn some fiscal responsibility. Struggle on that for a minute. Jim says, I'm sure Cayman would have received a lot more financial assistance after Hurricane Ivan if it hadn't been so hush-hush due to the possibility of loss of tourism. let's just say that the government of the day, which was the UDP government, really kind of mishandled that whole situation. But again, aren't we so incredibly fortunate that we were in a position for the most part to almost fully recover within a couple years? That demonstrates how, as a country, how our infrastructure is still good. We have insurance. We have, things work here, right? That speaks volumes. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Miss Sandy.
Oh, that beautiful voice.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, my darling. It's so good to hear your voice. How are you? How was the Christmas?
Oh, my Christmas was beautiful.
Oh, so nice.
Also, I love your topic this morning, and
Thank
I am glad to throw in my 2 cents.
Oh, absolutely.
I will agree wholeheartedly that our government are doing a good job, but I am calling out Juliana O'Connor Conley this morning and Nicholas Da Costa for Cayman Brock West about for their post office. It's a disgrace.
Oh.
I will agree, but theirs are east of the town free as they usually say, and we don't have too many people left in Spot Bay. But as long as the breath is in my body, I am going to speak. Spot Bay, whether I put my ex for Juliana O'Connor Conley, or for Dan Scott, or for whoever was running for Spot Bay that did not get in, the post office is the shame.
What's going on? Well, tell me what's happening with the post office.
The Spot Bay post office, we are sick and tired of getting promises that it's going to be upgraded. When you go in there, the termites are dropping on you, and it's a shame that a 86-year-old woman like me have to go in there to pay my post box fee and to see the condition that post office are in. The post mistress that is in there, I don't know how she can stay in there. The post office is falling apart. It's been there some time. I was a little boy and now I'm an old woman, as old people use the word. We, the district of Spot Bay, deserve better. And it also applies for the district commissioner, Mark Tibbetts. We deserve better, and I'm not going to start getting on air until Spot Bay get a decent post office.
Oh my goodness. This is so sad to hear because Cayman Brack is so small. I'm like, what does it take? It shouldn't take that much to kind of fix up the place a little bit. But I hear you mentioning people who didn't get in. Also, they were making promises that they would do things in the community and they haven't done those things. Is that what you just said?
All of them that get in, they include all 3 islands, which Spot Bay is included, and nothing is being done to Spot Bay. Even they made a half moon before the election with the bathroom by the cemetery, and nothing has been done. When it's a funeral in Spot Bay Cemetery, the son has to go and open Bethel Baptist Church bathroom that in case if the people need to use bathroom, and I do not have to do it because those bathrooms pertain to Bethel Baptist Church.
Oh my gosh.
And I am not going to stop some call no Juliana O'Connor Conley, especially.
Yeah, she has been there for over 30. Well, she's been there for over 30 years, honey child.
Until we get a good post office.
Yeah.
I have to pay my money for my post office. I don't get back free from government, and it's a shame and disgrace that the condition of post office is in.
My goodness. All right. Well, you've raised the alarm this morning. Thank you so much for that. I had no idea.
I don't know if I read the alarm that they know my mouth. I am a church member, but my mouth, the church door down all my time.
Well, we're hearing you loud and clear this morning, and I think that we need to look into this. So I will certainly reach out to Minister Nick. We're not gonna hope for Julie, child, so I'm not bothering messaging her. That would be a complete waste of my time.
We got hope for, we need better.
Yeah.
We need better.
I will I'll reach out to Mr. Nick to see what we can find out. But thank you so much for letting us know. And I'm sorry to hear that that's even an issue, as small as Kim Brack is. But yet she was busy building multi-million-dollar school. She couldn't take some money and fix up the post office.
And upgrade the post office. I will agree we need a school, but half of that money is go to upgrade Lehman High School, and it could go to put a hospital on top the block.
My goodness.
They needed more and so I don't care what they say about me. Well, they not come tell me.
Oh, yes, ma'am. They better believe that. You tell them, Miss Valda.
They better believe that. They can't come and judge me to my face. So if they say anything, they got to say behind my back.
Yep. Well, thank you, darling. I'm gonna check on it. Don't worry. We'll be on top of that.
All right, and thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. So good to hear from you.
And have a good day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Now, things bad when Miss Valda got called in and tell y'all to get it together. I mean, honestly. Hello? Oh, somebody messaging me. Hold on. So let's read a few messages here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Strong Will says, Sandy, I'm struggling and I always helping people. I know I get my blessings from God. This is the thing. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean that you don't help other people. Like there's something inherently wrong with someone who thinks, oh, I got it rough in life. I try to pay my bills and they're so selfish about it still. Like you'd be surprised when helping others, as Strong Will rightfully said, how it comes back to you tenfold. It's a sacrifice when people help. Anthony says, Sandy, did you see where Jamaican drawlers got a huge bailout? Jamaican who? What are drawlers? That's not looking good for best breasts? What? You got to fix that, I think, because I have no idea what a drawler is and who is best breasts. Jim says, give yourself a kaboom. Thanks, Jim. Miss Margie says, Sandy, you're so right. Prosperity purposes, we received help after Ivan, so why not help others? We received some limited help. I don't think that people were really running to our aid, but one of the reasons why people were not running to our aid as much as we probably could have gotten help is because Caymanian pride, meaning that of our government of the day, that would have been the UDP government, they were telling people we were perfectly fine and we didn't need the help. So there's that problem. If you need help, there's no shame in asking. You got to help yourself. But they were like, we're fine. We're open for business as usual. Nothing going on here. Nothing to see. Meanwhile, 97%, 98%, 99% of the buildings were like damaged. What a hot mess. Karen Brack, Carrie says, I hear you there. The neglect of the Brack is atrocious, but Carrie is the biggest bitch in raising it. Well, 2026 on your own. Good Lord. Have you stopped being an advocate already, girl? Lord Jesus. Sue says, you're so right, Jim. We go east, Rum Point, always, not SMB. Carrie says, we have 3 toilets in Watering Place. You can walk between them in 3 minutes. 3 toilets? I'm a little bit confused. These are public restrooms? How many restrooms you need? I mean, the Brack not that big. Your house is probably 2 feet away. Are these at the public beaches or where are these restrooms? Jim says prosperity purpose. I know a news source that was turned away from the island withholding information to the outside world. What kind of devastation we were faced with. If the word had gotten out, we would have received more. I'm sure of that. And I think definitely, Jim, that was part and parcel of the problem. It really, really was. Listen, you saw what Jamaica did. They got on their platform, on the media, and they said, look, yeah, we need help. We're not about to front, but we got this under control. It is devastating and our people need the help. And the world has stood up to assist them. Miss Darlene having a little chuckle. Jim says exactly, Sandy. Okay, I didn't know that public restrooms was a problem or that you really needed that many, but okay. What a hot mess. Let me see here. I think the person's referring to Jamaica Boilers Best Dressed Chicken. It's a company in Jamaica that sells chicken. Oh, and what's the problem? They got a bailout? Okay. Someone says, don't worry. Nick got the message loud and clear. A member of his team got the message this morning and action will be taken to address issues with this building. Okay. Well, Brother Nick, get on it, honey child. We are waiting. Yep. I will personally send him that clip because I don't want y'all upsetting Miss Valdonina. I had such a lovely interview with her for Cayman Voices. She's so lovely. Very nice lady, but boy, she firm. I love it. I hope when I'm her age, I'm the same way. Firecracker. All right, folks. We do have a busy day ahead today. Well, for me, I hope you have a busy and productive day scheduled as well. I got to go watch my baby running. So I'm going to do that for part of the day. And then I've got, I think, a business meeting that was booked for later on today. So I'll be attending to business. And then I have got a couple things to do on the computer. Paying bills this time of the month. You know how that goes, honey chill. Ugh. I wish we couldn't pay bills, but nobody gets away from it. So we've got some bills that are due. I'm just thankful that I can pay them. No money left over afterwards, but I'm like, just pay the bills, girl. Just be thankful that you can pay the bills. Praise the Lord and hallelujah. Good morning, honey child.
You come tell me about no good morning, honey child. Listen, I appreciate that when the disaster in Jamaica, I appreciate that Cayman and all over the world that helped Jamaica. But you see the backlash with that man, our embarrassment.
Which man?
The one that was cussing Cayman Island and cussing the people. And Cayman Airways was the first flight that dropped down there.
Oh, that fool man.
I had felt shame. I had felt shame.
Yeah, listen, one thing for sure is you're going to always find ungrateful people. That is one thing that, no matter how much you do or how much good you do, what you do, there's always going to be ungrateful people. That's why I can't fool. I can't fool politics.
You listen to it.
What? Isn't that the same one that we did a whole show on?
The same one.
Well, of course I listened to it.
People are cussing Cayman. And I don't think the pig had ever been there. You hurt me to my core. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting off your show.
All right, darling. Yeah. All right, honey chill. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think that we got to be a little bit more grateful. That would be so nice. Like, grateful for life, grateful for health, grateful that we can get up and go to a job, that we have a job to get up and go to. I know I'm grateful, honey child. I am like, listen, I enjoy working. I don't care what anybody else got to say. Yes, I don't get enough sleep. Marlon said to me last night when I was getting into bed at 12 o'clock, I thought you said you were going to bed early 2 hours ago. And I said, yep. I mean, that was my desire. I had a desire to go to bed early, and then I sat down and I started sending out emails. I started doing from one thing to the next, and next thing you know, listen, I had good intentions, but it never really worked out too good last night. I'm going to see how tonight goes. I want to be in bed by 10 o'clock tonight. We'll see. But I'm just grateful that I have my health and I have a job and, you know, I can get it done. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but we got to be more grateful. Gosh. Jim says always. You know what I'm saying? You can't change some people's mindset, says Jim, especially the ignorant ones. Good rest for good health. Yes, it is that from that perspective, it is important. So that's why I'm trying my best to try to go to bed a little bit earlier, even some nights. It mightn't be every single night, but I figure if I can do it some nights of the week, then, you know, that's better. But, you know, we are in the middle of a massive project right now. Like I said, I can't tell you all the details yet because I want to complete the project so then I can show you, not just telling you. It's not a pipe dream. It's going to be a kaboom. Yes. So I am busy. And, you know, I want to thank some of my business associates and partners because, you know, they make it possible for me to do and accomplish the things that I want to do really in the community. So I am, I've been doing a lot lately. And so thankful to have a supportive husband. Y'all got supportive spouses? You got to tell them how much you appreciate them being who they are and supporting you because it lightens the load in life and doesn't burden you. You know, it's hard, I think, when some of you are in these marriages of convenience and the convenience is not really that much of a convenience for you. Like you're carrying the load in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And, but on my side, it's so nice to be able to have a husband that, you know, he's handy. He can do things. I can be like, okay, you're in charge of the IT side of the project and I don't have to worry about it. It's going to get done. It's going to get done to standard. It's just, you know, yeah, that's like the teamwork makes the dream work. Rachel. It's good to have a good husband. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. All right. On that note, I'm going to leave you good folks so that you can get to work, and so can I. Oh, can I tell y'all a dash cam story before we go? Okay. Jim says, girl, we know you can get it done. Thank you so much for the vote of confidence, Jim. So yesterday, one of the people who recently purchased a dash cam called me and said, Sandy, I need some help getting footage off the dash cam because somebody hit me. And I said, what? Somebody hit you? They said, yeah. I said, okay. I was trying to give them instructions, but it wasn't working. I said, I'm going to come to you. I was already home, but I drove all the way back to town. I said, I will come to you and show you how to do it. We'll get it done because the police are waiting for the footage. Because guess what happened? The person hit them and left the scene of the accident, took off. And if it wasn't for that dash cam, they might not even know who hit them. Praise the Lord. These dash cams get yours today. I'm just saying. This is a perfect example of where these dash cams work. So here the situation. Right there, that strip by Jake Scott, like the corner of the gas station. So this is like Jake Scott, the tire shop and the gas station. They were coming like towards the C&B roundabout, right? The footage shows the car kept coming and stopping. So this is like 5 o'clock traffic, coming and stopping, coming and stopping. The driver was sitting there eating, had one plate of food, yamming the food. So at one point, he stopped paying attention to how much distance there was and ran right in the back of the man's vehicle. You can hear it go bloop when he hit him. And the food almost went everywhere because he literally had this huge plate of food in his hand. He was sitting there eating it. So when the impact hit, the food like did this. And then the guy, because he's in a big taxi van, he's like, okay, let's pull off the road. we don't want to sit here and block traffic or whatever. So he motions to him to let's pull off. The guy took off and drove off. Wowee. So the police now, of course, all of this is what I'm telling you. Don't just get a dash cam that is just catching the front. That back camera, remember this is a 3-camera dash cam now. Interior, front, and back. That back camera caught everything, honey child. It showed you how he was stopping, going until he finally ran into the man. And all they had to do was enlarge it, and they could see the license plate number clear as day. So, sir, I'm sure you got a phone call from the Popo last night saying, why did you hit this man eating your dinner, apparently, while driving in 5 o'clock traffic, and then left the scene of an accident? Do you know that leaving the scene of an accident is an offense? Mm-hmm. And they need to make it count for more than just a fine, because you shouldn't leave the scene of an accident. So, my dear, he thought he was going to get away, except this was one of my Van True customers. He was all protected with his dash camera. Lord have mercy. I couldn't believe it when I saw the footage. I was like, this dude had the nerves to leave the scene of the accident? Oh, my God. Yeah, Jim, can you believe it? Revoke that license. I mean, listen, we've all had a little snack in the car. I mean, I've never sat there and ate a whole meal when I was driving, because that's low-key dangerous. But sometimes I'm driving, I have a little pad in my hand. But you got to keep your eyes on the road, especially in bumper-to-bumper traffic, because it is really, really easy to accelerate too much and run up in somebody. It is easy to do. So there you go. Whoever he is, now it's a police matter, and they're dealing with it. I'm hoping the gentleman will actually show us the footage, because like I said, when you see this stuff like in full color video, you appreciate why we have some of the accidents that we have in our roadways. You appreciate the bad drivers. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Anyway, good folks, have a beautiful day. See y'all mañana. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.